welcome to another episode of Daily Dead Cells here in Games Done Slow and Bad. Let's get to it. Spiked boots, bow and endless quiver. Okay, these are things I can deal with. The bow and endless quiver is already one chevron upgraded. Ooh. Missed that one completely. Ooh. Alright, so spiked boots, not my favorite, but also not the worst. Bow and endless quiver, not bad. If you can get it stacked with a good effect, it's actually highly usable. As you can see, it's absolutely tearing these guys apart at the moment. Let's see what we get to first. That will likely decide if we're going to take the promenade route or if we're going to go through the sewers. Alright, what do we get? We got an explosive crossbow, I think that is. Which very quickly might replace this boot. What do we got? Crossbow 1. Well, it takes a minute to spool up. It is incredibly powerful. Sinew Slicer. Well, I can tell you what this round wants us to do. They want us very badly to do a tactics run. Nothing there, it's too impressive. That crossbow is incredibly powerful in terms of damage. Sort of slower on DPS because it doesn't fire as quickly. Sinew Slicers are super tactic traps that cause a hideous amount of bleeding. And the bow and endless quiver is just a great weapon all around. Ice crossbow? Do I want to do that right now? I don't think I want to do that right now. Let's take our meager 7 and dump it into a faraway health flask. Alright, we will drop on that Frozen and Swarm. We're not going to necessarily invest in that at the moment, but we are going to take Deployment of Skill. That Sinew Slicer, I'm hoping we can get a second one when those are paired together and you get a good bow combo, maybe some other weapon that does dot damage, firebrands, a torch. Gets very, very dangerous when you can start stacking together traps and a good bow and a good dot-inducing melee weapon. And this bow, as it is right now, has a significantly increased effect on a frozen target. That might have put us out of range for the time door. Probably by like a second. Yep, 7 seconds. That's okay. We got a key. All right. What do we got? I would like that gem, please, because money is good. Alright, we need to focus in a little bit more, because I'm getting a little bit sloppy. And it's not great. We will go down here, because why not? Okay. I like the crossbow a little bit. which is to say I can definitely say use for it. It absolutely gnarls people who are in groups. Yeah, when you get guys in groups, that crossbow is absolutely going to gnarl them. But otherwise, the crossbow is a little unwieldy due to the slow damage. Huge number, hits very slow. What do we got? Is that an ice bow? Well, let's be fully honest. One upgraded ice bow and a bow that does tremendously more damage when someone's frozen. The game is clearly telling us what it wants us to do. Clearly trying to give us instructions. Now, if we can find a sinew slicer that does some sort of icing or fire attack, that would be ideal. So what does this look like now that we've gotten that? Just money? No, we'll probably pass on that. If we even find the last key. Which we might not find. Oh yes. Oh yes, yes, yes. I got some piercing going on, I got some freezing going on. Things are not looking very good for my enemies. Yep, people throw things down wells. Damn shame. Money. Thank you. Nope. Go around. Okay. There we go, just because I wanted to do that. An electric whip. Well, ordinarily that would be something that would interest me. I have quite the assortment at this moment in time. What do we got? It's just gonna be a door, isn't it? No. It's actually good stuff. Victims burned. Well. I think you can see where this build is going, and I think it's gonna be all purples. That being said, they're not gonna give me any purple power-ups. This is a pretty OP build. Very rarely do I go and say, ooh, I think I've stumbled onto something. But at the moment, I'm feeling quite confident about this. Num num num. Alright, so we get a shot to pierce all targets, and we get a shot pierces one target. Which is okay. Ideal is groupings of 2, and we can make do. This is a great build for ramps, and a great build for, nope. It's a great build for ramps and a great build for the concierge, because I don't think that he's going to be able to do enough to us to really put us in any jeopardy. God, it is just going to give us nothing that we actually need. I just want purple. Nothing here that we actually want anyway, so that's okay. So, we have been blessed in this run with a very clear path forward. Firebrands. It's not upgraded though, so it's not worth it. We will take the fire... We'll take the power. And then we'll take it back, and then we'll turn it into gold. Alright, there we go. So, we got a perk. So many DPSs when we're near our support abilities at this point. Come on, up here. Up here. Come on. In a second, I'm going to drop down. There we go, okay. I'll take that Topaz Amulet, thank you. It's not exactly going to get the job done later in the game, but for right now that Topaz Amulet's best we got. So, ramps. We're going to do a very normal, linear, simple run. Ramps to Concierge, to Stilt, to Clock, to the Castle. And honestly, the way this is progressing, I think we actually stand a somewhat reasonable chance of making some progress. Alright, Frozen, Pierce, Burning. This is the one right here. Slow down, Afterthought 4 times longer, shots pierce the first target. I think I'll deal with that for right now. Bleeding, Poison, Burn. So we're definitely going to be getting some bleeding and some burning on with this build. And if we can replace the Sinew Slicer with a better Sinew Slicer at some point, we'll be doing a lot more damage in that way. The Crossbow-O-Matic that we have does burning. Our Sinew Slicer does bleeding. We have Frost. Maybe we'll pick up a Poison at some point, but the plus 99 DPS, combined with the fact that we're next to one of our items, is going to be incredibly effective. Alright, so that is the strat right there. There's absolutely nothing there for us to jump onto. Come on. Is there anything up here that I can get to? Nope. Nope. Okay. Leap of faith! Got it. Okay. I was a little nervous there, because that was, not giving me a lot to work with. This is one of the deficiencies of this build, however. When I get into close combat and I'm going up or down in confined areas, this gets a little cumbersome. Because it's not realistic to drop my traps every time I reach a new level. What did we miss that by? What did we miss this by? 1 minute ago. Okay, we'll have to pick up the pace. We're gonna try and chew you up. There we go. Excellent. What do we got? 2 extra jumps, damage mitigation. Okay. And we're up to a very respectable amount of money again as well, which is not worth nothing. All right. And we got another perp. So let's take this tactics. I have a good feeling about this section. But that I'm in a bad feeling. What do we got? Someone's groaning. Oh, this is just someone's gonna throw me a lunch. Yeah, get out of here, you freak. Leave me alone. Yep. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. Perfect. Alright, so it's a somewhat active build. What we have to do each time we drop down a level is get our frost out and consider, make a quick snap judgment, do we want to get our traps out? If the answer is yes, we gotta hit them quick. Because we'll get chewed apart if we don't get our stuff out quickly enough. For instance here, right? I need to get my traps out on those levels, or what just happened will happen and I'll just take unnecessary damage. One of the biggest risks in this game is you're not paying attention, you're just sort of being cute about it, and all of a sudden it sneaks up on you and you just absolutely get chewed up. And it can happen pretty quick. Like, you can not be paying attention for 1 minute, and all of a sudden you've taken 3 or 4 good knocks from high-level enemies, and boom, you're in a bad way. Game is being awfully generous. Magnetic grenade. We'd have to get the bleeding, but we get poison. I'm actually okay with that for now. I would rather wait for another sinew slicer than take on something that might not perfectly fit our build. And what I'd like to be doing is to dump no points whatsoever into red or green until we get much later on. Alright, there we go. Because I would rather be spending all my points at this, all of my scrolls at this point, creating as strong a character as possible. Ooh. Dropped down just the wrong time. There we go, dead. I think this might be the exit. Black Bridge, perfect. Okay. Good run. If you hear anything in the background, you have to forgive me. It appears to have picked up storm-wise pretty significantly in the past few minutes. And I apologize for that. I didn't even think that the storm was that impressive, so I assume that we're going to be okay, but it might show up a little bit in the audio, and I apologize for that. I don't apologize enough that I'm going to do something about it, but, you know, I apologize for that. Alright. I think necromancy makes sense. We don't need any other perks at the moment, but the ability to do subtle healing, I think, will come in handy. And we're making what I believe is very good time, and I could be wrong. I'm sure not speedrunner time. There we go. Concierge. Alright, drop you. Ice bow, go, 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 go. Ice bow, ice bow. Regular bow, regular bow, regular bow, regular bow. slow him down. Just stun lock him to absolute death. Oh, my friend, that didn't work out well for you. We got Nerves of Steel. What in the hell is this? Incredible DPS, damage to a frozen target, shots pierce the first target. Ooh, well. Inflicts a critical hit if it's shot at the right moment. What the hell does that even mean? Poisons the enemy. So, let's think about this for a second. Colorless, highest applies poisons, so I get more dot effects. Frozen, which isn't gonna help me whatsoever unless I replace the Endless Quiver 1. But I believe that the Endless Quiver 1 is actually sneaky better. Yeah. I think the Endless Quiver 1 is actually sneaky better. The reason I think the Endless Quiver 1 is actually sneaky better is that I don't have to worry about counting down my projectiles. And that might seem insignificant, but to me, having to worry about spamming too many shots and being left with no weapons is a big deal. Like, I'm not that good at counting. I will absolutely lose track of what I'm doing and put myself in a really bad spot. I'm going to plus this. Victims emit a toxic cloud, spread to other enemies. Upon thawing, they suffer from bleeding. That seems good. That seems very good. That seems overpowered levels of good. Nothing from you, nothing from you, nothing from you. We're going to go Stilt Village. Stilt Village. Stilt Village. Yes. We're going for a nice, smooth, orderly... simple run. And again, I apologize if you can hear that in the background. It is storming pretty significantly here, which is actually kind of weird at this time of the year. Okay, so the Frostbow is no longer piercing all enemies, which is a little bit of a drawback, not gonna lie. I definitely appreciated that, but I think what we're getting in return is the bleed effects are making up for that, and I just have to use my unlimited bow to clear things like that. Come on. Alright, what are we going to take? Green or red? Vampirism or more DPS? More DPS is more good. Yes. Ooh. That guy does look like a Scooby-Doo villain. I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed that. He does look like at the end of the episode they're gonna pull his mask off and it's gonna be Old Man Harvey, and he just really didn't want the marina to go out of business. I don't know what that is even gonna get me. I'm not gonna go up there because why would I do that? What do we got? Okay, we got that. Nope, I'm not dealing with this. Just get rid of them, please, turrets. Thank you. This is a rather aggressive start to this level. Most often it doesn't feel like we have this many enemies on the board at once. Which is interesting. Alright, here we go. Thank you. We're going to attempt to bypass as much of this as we can. Secret and completely unnecessary zone discovered. Oh, look at the bleeding, look at the freezing, look at the beautiful everything that's going on right here. Come on. Come on. Gotcha. Alright, what is here? This is the one where you can get out. No, we're not going to do that right now. We're going to run the regular route. Regular route. Thank you. We get a good... Oh! No, okay. Wrong buttons were pressed. Try this again. Clock Tower. Okay, Clock Tower is quite the adventure. Incredibly tight confines, enemies that teleport around quite a bit, and a handful of enemies who throw grenades. Pretty aggressively. If there's going to be a level in which I'm going to have difficulty, this will be it. Totally worth it. Oh my god, totally worth it. Oh, the freezing damage is just going to be obscene. I might respect that in the future, but for right now, that is pretty good. That means that if I freeze someone with the bow, I have the choice of either the endless bow or the crossbow-o-matic, where I can drop it down and chunk through them pretty quickly. What do we got? Hayabutsas, thank you for your money. Appreciate that. Alright, the elevator. Yeah, so it's the grenades I was talking about. Oh. Come on. There we go. Oh, come on! Oh, ground strike lightning too. Wow, this is getting to be an interesting night. Generally at this point in the year, there is none of this nonsense in terms of storms. I live in the northeast area, and usually by now, you know, it's pumpkin spice season, basically. Alright, get him. Got him. Okay, got him. Alright, let's keep climbing. Up is good in this level, because everything is up. Alright, we got a grenade guy. Oh god. Get him. Oh, this is great, actually. This is great. Oh god, no, this isn't great. This isn't great, this isn't great at all. This is actually very bad. I put a lot of bets there that did not pay off. Alright. Downward slashes burn the ground. 2 things. Yep, that's worthwhile. I was putting way too much faith in him not being able to reach me. Oh, was I putting way too much faith in that. Repeater crossbow. No thank you at this moment. We're back up to maximum gold, so we have the flexibility to buy whatever we need at this point. I would not mind that ice bow if it were upgraded by 1. Alright, getting gold and plus cells. I don't care about that whatsoever, but I do care about these scrolls. What do we want? More deeps? I think tactics. I think tactics is a smart play. Let's get out of there. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Alright. All the golds. What do we got here? Cells? Is this really it? I climbed this whole freaking tower for a batch of cells that I don't actually need? Lovely. Super. Alright, what do we got in here? Cross. I think this is just flavor text, but... Alright, this is the room with all the big swords. Swords I can't actually do. That sensation again, like I'm floating as if I so yeah. I don't think there's anything in the draw. Alright, golden amulet. Minus 10% damage extra. Down slashes burned. Burn when you pee. Swords that I cannot use. That's unfortunate. Okay. That was, I'm not going to say a waste. 18 cells is not nothing. No, I am going to say it's a waste. That was a waste. That was a tremendous, tremendous waste of my time, your time, everyone's time. Oh. You need to die. Squish him. Cool. Alright. So for these less squishy guys, there is definitely a strat. And that strat is to freeze. And then bow. What do we got? Downward, extra jump, but I lose a perp. I'm not going to lose a perp at this moment. My significant amounts of extra damage are definitely worth keeping. Oop. Walk to the traps, darn it. Alright. All the gems, 27,000 gold. We need to spend that. Nope. I should walk through here just in case. Do not press any buttons. Do not press any buttons. It would be tragic at this point to press a button and accidentally do a freaking cursed chest. I know of nothing in this game that is worth less than a cursed chest. The items are never even that good. I mean, yeah, like, you get some cells or whatnot, but, like, come on. You are gonna freaking get nailed. And then there's a mutation that gives you extra health for breaking a curse, which I just find insane. Clock Master's Key? Clock Maker's Key? One of those two. Didn't quite read it. We are, definitely slowing down in terms of our hit parade that we had going earlier. Get out of there. Freeze and stab. Okay. Alright, up is usually the way to go for these sort of things. Get a red and a green. 21% versus 10%. Kind of feels like a pretty good argument can be made that the health is more valuable at this point. I am going to take a bit of a knocking around. As we do this, simply because I have to be real precise about the usage of the bow. I don't think I can see me, but here I will take... You know what? I'll take more healing. More healing is more good, right? Right. Can I get you to teleport down? Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Good. Okay. 29,000 gold. I need a shop. Specifically, I need a shop that's going to sell me a 29,000 gold sinew slicer. Oh, a good shield, quote unquote. Cannot parry. Yeah, that's great. I bet you that key that we can find in ramps, we've seen it a few times, actually gets you that clock tower key. Okay. Alright. All the golds freeze this guy to death. Shop, what do we got? We got nothing. Nothing good. Nothing. Oh, that's so disappointing. Okay, we got 2 balls. Alright, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. Not so bad. 55 cells as well. That's not nothing. You get a couple of rounds of 55 cells and suddenly that level 4 potion is much more viable. Alright, only 500 away, which seems like an eternity, but isn't actually that bad. Alright, bleeding, frozen, frozen, swarms. Pierce the first target. That actually seems better. The reason I think that's better, not for this fight, but for the next area, is that it's only hitting the first target, which means only the first target is bleeding. If it pierces the first target and hits the second target and third target, they all get bleeding as well. So for this guy, this jerk, not a big deal. For everybody else, big deal. He got me. Ah, he got me. There's already, let's finish this, so... Alright, we got him, and we got a scroll for that, too. That's not bad at all. Crusher. Colorless. Shoots a volley of arrows. Victims emit a toxic cloud. Trap spreads oil. Take minus 25% damage. Jesus. Sinew Slicer's great, but you've, I think, met your match. We got a blueprint for Vengeance. Which I'm assuming is if you take damage, you're going to get the ability to hit people a little harder. The only thing I worry about with Crusher, well, I guess it persists, and it doesn't take damage, which means if you get it down on the field of play, you're going to benefit from it heavily. Oil? Toxic Cloud. I don't have... I guess I do have fire from jumping. Let's take a few cracks at this. Generates a Toxic Cloud around the trap. Now see, that is interesting to me. Volley of arrows, stuck arrows come back. That's also quite huge. There we go. Significantly higher amount of drop weapons with plus have been occurring because we've been dumping our cells after boss fights, and that seems to be a good strategy. I don't have any complaints about that whatsoever. High Peak Castle. Alright, this area is no joke. Alright, what do we got? Knife Dance. Cleaver. No. I like what we have. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Alright, this is chaos. Anything over here? Nope. Alright, a lot of shots take these guys down. Traps are going to be absolutely imperative. Come on, get him. Chunk him. Come on, chunk him. There we go. Okay. Not super viable. Little bit of regret there. I've been infected by the malaise. I think that's that bar down there. And I think a little bit of infection is probably okay. I think you get more infection by taking more damage. Alright, so we've done the castle a few times now, and we have made it to the final boss. It is hard and requires a very specific set of weapons for me to really make a dent. I'm not going to pretend as if I have those weapons for this run. I have weapons. They're not what I need. Alright, what do we got? Red or green? Deeps. I think 2 is the right amount of keys that we need to make this happen. No. Okay. Perfect. Alright, we're gonna do the sort of scumming thing where we hang off screen for a second. Because we cannot afford to take damage here. Greed Shield of Garbage. Excellent. Gotta love it when the game gives you things that you have literally no use or need for. There we go. Okay. Up here. Yep, of course. Why wouldn't you be up here? Alright. Take this guy. No, take the perps. Perfect. Okay. What do we got? Frantic sword. Quick bow. Throwing knife. None of those are otherworldly. They're okay. Don't get me wrong. They're not bad. But they're not game changers. I need a game changer at this moment. That's what I need. Oh, did not want to go in there. Come back out. Hello. Moonflower key. Okay. So that must be that key then. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. This is the only place that I can actually progress. We get a little bit of story here that we haven't seen before. Let's take a look. Plants, a whole bunch of strange flowers with an astonishing spell. Okay, what do we got? Research notebook. The latest crossbreeding produces no results. The extracts administered to the volunteer produced a shapeless monstrosity, half man, half plant. The subject failed to revive the subject. Great. This game is a little bit messed up. Human experimentation generally not something that people look at and go, yeah, that's good. Alright, we're going to go back and get the cells that were back here. Reason being, I have 50,000 gold. I do not... If I take it with me, I am literally just making bad decisions left and right. I would love to have found a shop, frankly, where I could have also bought some more gear. But at least heading out, we can probably take a good hard look at our gear and make decisions about what we want to do with it. But we've reached the throne room. Theoretically, we're approaching the end of the game. Alright, what do we feel about this? Thawing, bleeding. That's probably good. Damage, piercing. I like the piercing. Frozen. I could be convinced that that's not the best use right now. Bleeding. Bleeding. Burning? Do I have anything burning? I don't. Frozen, bleeding. Frozen, poison. Alright, that I can deal with. I can't take it with me anyways. But now that trap will poison them and it'll do more damage to poison. The bow will freeze them and it'll do damage to frozen. That makes that crossbow incredibly useful in this next one. Because the Hand of the King, I believe his name is, in the throne room, is an absolute truck. Yeah. Look at this, scary enough. Hand of the King. Oh. Bad times. Drink up. By the way, he's literally just standing on my thing. Like, it's no big deal. Like, to him, he eats DPS for breakfast. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Good. Okay. See, there's a thing. I don't like that thing. Oh, he does a lot of things. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That's unfortunate. Well, that is easily the closest we've gotten to doing any damage to him. We gotta get better, folks. We gotta get better. Thank you so much for watching. This has been another episode of Daily Dead Cells. We're making good progress, and I'm happy about that. I'm also happy you're watching. This has easily been the most successful thing on my channel, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.